am the wife of Jonas Salk. This is my husband's family. It's me and Jonas and his two brothers and his parents. Jonas Salk was born on October 28, 1914 in New York, son of Russian Jewish immigrant garment workers. In 1939, Jonas Salk earned a medical degree from New York University, despite his mother's initial urging that he become a lawyer instead, saying he was intrigued by the human dimension.
Press. But isn't it also true that he was caught shoplifting?
No, I think you mean Winona Ryder. In the 1940s, Jonas Salk left University of Michigan for Pittsburgh School of Medicine, and then studied the influenza vaccine for the U.S. Army. In 1949, Jonas Salk was professor of bacteriology at the University of Pittsburgh.
Yes, but then isn't it true that his wife beat his car with a golf club because he was caught cheating on her?
No, that was Tiger Woods. Previous vaccines discovered by others were ineffective and unsafe, becoming tested on 10,000 children, causing death and paralysis in some. Regarding the polio vaccine, advances in technology such as development of how to inject vaccines into embryonic tissue and the realization that the vaccine must be effective against all 3 strands of polio led to Jonas Salk's success. Salk discovered a potent combination and exposed it to formaldehyde for at least 13 days after testing it on monkey brains. Then he tested children already inflicted with polio and tested antibody levels. In 1954, Jonas Salk injected live or placebo vaccine in almost 2 million children.
Oh my gosh, and they all died?
In 1955, the killed virus vaccine became public, 10 years after the death of President Roosevelt, with Salk saying, theoretically, the new 1955 vaccines and vaccination procedures may lead to 100% protection from paralysis of all those vaccinated. In 1956, Jonas Salk received the gold medal from President Dwight D. Eisenhower. In 1962, polio becomes almost extinct. In 1963, Jonas Salk became the director of the Salk Institute for Biological Studies, located in La Jolla, California, between San Diego and LA.
And then isn't it true that he went to jail and then was put on house arrest for partying too much?
No, that was Lindsay Lohan. Then Jonas Salk became an author of 4 books: Man Unfolding, Survival of the Wisest, World Population and Human Values, and Anatomy of Reality. In 1977, Jonas Salk was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Jimmy Carter, which is the highest civilian honor. May 6, 1985 was declared Jonas Salk Day by President Ronald Reagan. The later years of Salk's life were devoted to searching for a vaccine against HIV.
Isn't it true that he had AIDS?
No. On June 23, 1995, Jonas Salk died at the age of 80 of heart failure. Some famous polio victims were President Franklin D. Roosevelt, David Sanborn, singer Joni Mitchell, director Francis Ford Coppola, actress Mia Farrow, and actors Donald Sutherland and Alan Alda.
Isn't it true that the only reason Jonas Salk is famous is because he's Donald Sutherland's son?
No, that would be Tori Spelling.
Well, isn't it true that live from New York, it's Saturday night? What happened, Arnie?
Yeah, that's fine. Good job. Technical problem.
With musical guest, Jonas Salk. And now a word from our sponsors. There it is. Yeah, that's you.
Okay. Jam. Now we gotta get rid of the music. All right. Are you between the ages of 17 and 92?
Yes.
Are you in good health?
Yes.
You, sir, do you spend $350 or more a day on crack cocaine? If you answered yes to these 3 questions, the Salk Institute for Biological Studies wants you.
Really well.
All right. Something about the Salk Institute. Following the success of his polio vaccine in 1955, Jonas Salk began his search for the right place to establish a research center where scholars could study biological issues of the day. In 1960, the mayor of San Diego, I was going to look at Cheryl when I said that, the mayor of San Diego, a polio victim named Charles Dale, courted Dr. Salk to build the center in his city. The people of San Diego gifted 27 acres overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and with financial support from the March of Dimes, the Salk Institute for Biological Studies opened its doors in 1963. Dr. Salk began to conduct research on multiple sclerosis, autoimmune diseases, and cancer, and continued his immunology research trying to develop an AIDS vaccine. There are now 61 faculty and over 850 scientists and staff at the Salk Institute. A memorial at the Institute has a statement by Dr. Salk on it that captures his spirit. Hope lies in dreams, in imagination, and in the courage of those who dare to make dreams into reality. Thank you.
And now Wednesday update with Bea and Mary Catherine.
Welcome to Wednesday Update.
I'm Mary Catherine.
And I'm Bea, and here are today's top stories. Pamela Anderson regrets all that naked stuff. Pretty much her entire life's work. Turns out that stuff can really mess your kid up.
A 13-year-old girl in Brooklyn won $50,000 at a national texting championship by typing a verse from Old MacDonald in 60 seconds. Not only that, but she went off the road twice.
A high school in Ohio has installed an all-carrot vending machine. So give it a try, kids. If you don't like fresh veggies, maybe you like veggies that have been sitting all day in a dusty old metal box.
According to researchers, the world's koala population is being ravaged by chlamydia, with 50 to 80% of the animals infected with the disease. Sadly, the numbers are even higher among inner-city koalas.
Blockbuster Video has filed for bankruptcy protection. Well, Blockbuster, seems our 8-year tug of war over Big Daddy has finally
Huntington Beach, California held its second annual Surf City Dog Competition this month, or like the sharks like to call it, Thanksgiving.
In an effort to set a new record, a 3-year-old girl in China walked on a tightrope above 6 tigers at a local zoo. And the only way that story ended well is that she fell in and the tigers racers there for terrible bear. And now, breaking news.
Technology.
1955, a year of anxiety and triumphs. A major medical hurdle was crossed with the discovery by Dr. Jonas Salk of the anti-polio vaccine, which was to spread a mantle of protection over millions of American children. And the scientist entered the ranks of the medical immortals. Leading drug firms shifted into high gear to meet a national demand, which spread to every crossroads despite early controversy. Each hastily set up center became a mecca for anxious parents shepherding little Johnny and little Jill to their inoculations. They're protected, and it didn't hurt a bit.
Please now, welcome our special guest, Dr. Jonas Salk.
Well, congratulations, Dr. Salk, for finding the polio vaccine.
Thank you. It's been a long road.
Well, Dr. Salk, how prevalent was polio when you began your research? It's hard for people growing up now to get a feeling for what the world was like then. Who was it striking? How was it spreading?
Well, by the early 1950s, over 25,000 cases of polio occurred annually. Probably one of the most famous people infected was President Franklin Roosevelt, who was paralyzed due to polio by the age of 39. At first, polio was spread through the water supply or fecal contamination, but slowly it progressed to spreading through human secretions. The virus actually multiplies in the intestines, enters the bloodstream, and then travels through the nervous system, entering the spinal cord and therefore causing paralysis.
And Dr. Salk, how did your work with the polio vaccine come about?
Well, after I arrived in Pittsburgh, I was visited by the director of research at the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, and he asked me if I'd be willing to participate in a program on typing polio viruses. I seized the opportunity, and it gave me a chance to get funds, laboratory facilities, equipment, and staff to build something that just wasn't there at the time.
How did you react to your instant world hero status?
People often say they remember two things. They remember the polio episode and they remember Jack Kennedy's assassination. This is how these two things associate in the minds of people. That was the mood of the country and the world at the time.
Well, Dr. Salk, bless you for all you've done and all you will do.
Bless you, V.
Thank you.
Now another word from our sponsor.
Hello, I'm a PVAC, that's short for polio vaccine.
And I'm an IL, that's short for iron lung.
You're looking pretty happy today, IL. What's up?
Haven't you heard? I breathe for people who have polio.
Well, I actually prevent people from ever getting polio.
What the heck? Are you trying to destroy me?
No, I'm just trying to get rid of polio. You know, I've actually already eradicated it from most countries in the world with just a simple shot.
Oh, come on, that's not possible. Besides, look at what an amazing piece of technology I am. I mean, people who have lost all ability to breathe on their own can live inside of me for years. A lady actually just died in North Carolina who spent 60 of her 72 years living inside of me.
That's just sad.
You just wait. One day everybody will see what they're missing out on.
I hope not. But good luck with that, IL. And to all of you who don't want to spend the rest of your lives living inside of her, get a life, get a PVAC.
Thank you.